Real quick before we jump into the video, guys, for the rest of this year I'm going to be on a fundraising campaign to raise a minimum of £1,000 for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. For more information on the charity and what it does, and for the donation links, please look in the description below. And thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the show. What's going on, guys? Rainbow Teacher in the house, and we're here with another Pokemon Unite patch video. 1.1.16, I think it is coming out as of the 18th, which is tomorrow. So we got a few changes to talk about, some buffs and some nerfs. Some of them seem a little bit random to me, I'm not gonna lie. But before we get into all the changes, let me know down in the comments below. What Pokemon would you like to see buffed or nerfed? I'm definitely interested to know. But let's get right on into it. So first up, obviously important thing to note, we're getting Blissey released. It's going to be a healer support, not the incoming Blastoise that we were kind of expecting. We had a pre-release bit of information for it, but we are getting Blissey first. But I do think this current patch change might actually be a precursor to Blastoise coming, and we'll talk about why in it. But we're getting a new healer support, so now it's not just Eldegoss, which feels pretty good. Alright. Next up is some changes to some battle items. Definitely kind of worth it. Especially as Eject button is kind of a little bit overpowered. Everybody runs it, so the cooldown's getting increased. As always with these changes, Unite don't seem to release actual numbers, which is really frustrating. Please release actual numbers, Unite. I would greatly appreciate it. But I could see Eject button cooldown being like 90 to 120 seconds. Definitely think it'll be somewhat worth it around there. And we have some buffs. Goal Getter is getting its cooldown decreased. It's 120 seconds, which I didn't actually realize it was that long a cooldown, because I've never really used Goal Getter. This needs to be slashed. Like, it needs to be, like, halved, honestly, for it to be a viable item. Goal Getter is kind of a pretty good item, situationally on Crustal, but aside from that, it's not really that great an item. Fluffy Tail's getting its effect increased. This is actually a really interesting item. I actually used it a lot in my early low ELO jungles. Which was a lot of fun, so definitely nice to see its effect increase. It's a pretty interesting one. It effectively stuns Dreadnought, Rotom, and Zapdos for a few seconds. It's a really cool item. Definitely think it needs some buff. X-Attack also got buffed. I don't quite know why. I didn't actually think X-Attack was all that bad, but I'm assuming it's just extra attack and special attack for a short time. Maybe it's the duration. They didn't really say what the effect increase was, but either way, kind of a bit of an interesting one that X-Attack got buffed. I didn't think it necessarily needed it. Next up are some bug fixes. Wigglytuff's Unite's cooldown is finally fixed. It no longer refreshes at 90%. Cinderace got a basic attack fix. Don't quite actually know what was wrong with Cinderace's basic attack. It might have been the passive didn't apply properly. Primaran's Hurricane got fixed. Ninetales' passive finally got fixed. This was actually listed in the last patch, but they didn't actually end up fixing it. And Auroravel got a bug fix. Gardevoir's basic attack actually now applies a special defense debuff, which it didn't before. And Psychic got a bug fix. Not quite sure what was wrong with Psychic, but apparently there was a bug with it. Those are the minor changes. Let's talk about the major ones. And let's talk about the major gut of this patch. Sorry, Miklosh. But it's going to be the Snorlax. Snorlax, unsurprisingly, the premier defender in the game. Pretty much mandatory at any high elo team at this point in time. Kind of getting a little bit gutted here, not going to lie. Heavy Slam lowering the damage. At least the radius is still huge, which is one thing about it. The damage going down kind of sucks. It is its primary damage tool. But nonetheless, the knock-up is still insane. It's still a really good engage tool. Block's getting its duration decreased, which is about time. Block's duration was way too long, in my opinion. Also, I feel like they probably should have nerfed the radius of Block, so it doesn't literally cover out an entire lane. So there was some counterplay to it, but they didn't actually do that. They just lowered the duration. The Unite no longer restores to full health, which is nice. The HP restoration got decreased. Flail got an upgrade of sorts. There's no information as to what this upgrade is, but it is a minor buff. But obviously, this is still a very heavy nerf to Snorlax, which is kind of necessary, so now Snorlax may not be as mandatory in every ELO. Next up are some changes to Greninja. Smokescreen kind of a little too strong, so the cooldown got increased on it. It's actually longer than 11 seconds now, which is pretty long for a regular ability as it is. They try to bring Double Team into the meta game as an option by lowering its cooldown. Water Shuriken got some buffs with the cooldown how being lowered and the damage increase, but I feel like Surf is still too strong. I feel like if they wanted to make Water Shuriken viable, they probably should have nerfed Surf so you don't get all the resets, but nonetheless, they didn't opt to do that. They just opted to buff Water Shuriken. So I don't think this is enough to make it a replacement for Surf, but we shall see. Next up is some buffs to my boy, Garchomp. I'm a huge Garchomp fan. A lot of people know this. When I play All-Rounders, I tend to play Garchomp, but that's because I'm relatively proficient on it. But I did definitely need some love. It was kind of one of the weakest All-Rounders since Charizard got buffed. So its base movement speed got increased, which is nice, especially for the Gibble stage. Bulldoze also got its damage increased, which is again exceptionally nice for the Gibble stage. Dragon Rush got its cooldown reduced. Earthquake is still better in my opinion, but Dragon Rush is actually kind of situationally really decent. So having the decreased cooldown is kind of nice. It does actually make Dragon Rush a little bit more of a viable option. I probably still would run Earthquake more, but I could at least test some Dragon Rush a little bit more. Next up, some really harsh changes to Slowbro, not gonna lie. Slowbro Surf got its effect duration decreased, which I didn't really see an issue with Surf, to be honest, and Scald got a damage increase. I still don't think this matters too much, unless the Scald damage is, like, ridiculously high increased, because Surf is still way better than Scald. I don't ever see a reason why you would ever run Scald, but yeah. Kind of a bit of a surprising change. I didn't think Slowbro was really all that strong. Especially given how dominant Snorlax has been. I feel like you're still going to run Surf in general anyway. Scald may be a situational item, especially as it does additional dot damage, but it's not much, honestly. And last up, and a pretty interesting set of changes is to Crustle. Defender's getting a lot of changes this patch, especially as we know Blastoise is a defender coming soon. Kind of interesting. Rock Tomb getting its damage increase probably doesn't matter, because Rock Tomb just never was meant to be used for damage. It was basically used as a zoning tool. Stealth Rock is an interesting change, though. Getting its cooldown reduced and its damage up. Obviously, hey, the choices are, at this point, is Stealth Rock or X-Scissor. X-Scissor, extremely dominant. Stealth Rock was practically never picked. This might be able to put Stealth Rock in a position where it's a viable option. I don't really see it. Myself, given how strong X-Scissor is, not only with the damage, but it also stuns if you X-Scissor into terrain. It's pretty strong. Rock Tomb, I don't think you're ever taking over Shell Smash, if I'm being honest, even with the damage increase, so it could be interesting. Could be an interesting set for Crustle. This still obviously just changes to its side moves, the moves that people don't run. I don't know if this is better. I think Crustle's main set is still going to be stronger, but we shall see and soon find out. But that's going to be the patch. There is actually one minor change to Avalugg in the quick matches. Its stats got decreased, but that's quick matches. Nobody really cares, but I just thought I'd mention it as an honorable. But either way, those are going to be the patch notes, of course. It should be dropping pretty early in the morning on the 18th, which is tomorrow, as of uploading this. So, looking forward to seeing how this patch shapes up. And as always, guys, let me know what you think about the changes down below. I'm sure Meeklush is going to be really angry in the comments that Snorlax got nerfed, but it's going to be fine nonetheless. But either way, thanks so much for watching. My name is Ravambi Teacher. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you liked the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so that you never miss an upload. We upload every single day on this channel. Make sure you're following me on all of my social medias on the screen right now. And a huge shout out to the shiny Rabambis of this month, Araya Jade, The Crazed Artist, Mr. Burns 1988, and Average Gaming 017. Thank you all for your continued support.